Welcome back. I'm glad you're here again. What did you notice different since our last meeting? Did you notice how different you felt when you used any of the reframing techniques? Did you notice a difference in your perception or the way the situation was? So let's get back to the importance of understanding our anxious behaviors as processes. Although there are no doubt reasons why you are anxious today, and these would amount to hundreds if not thousands of reasons most likely, the thought of identifying and fixing all of these is simply overwhelming and really not possible. I'm sure there are single severe events that need to be dealt with. But the idea that in the unlikely event that you ever really find out why you get anxious, how will you change? You will most likely not have the tools anyway. But the truth is, you can't change your past. But you can work out how you're doing things and create your own future. So for a moment, let's try to figure out why you have the anxious behavior and work on how you have the anxious behaviors in line with the processes so you can truly start to create your own future. That's what makes this approach so awesome. It's about how you do your things and the processes behind your anxious behaviors. I just want to share an experience from a family holiday to put this in perspective. It was an idea I took from a holiday a few years ago when we went to an early Australian gold mine site theming park called Sovereign Hill. Part of the experience was gold panning down by a running creek. I was instantly drawn to this as I used to collect gold coins. The family all went down and had a go. There was muddy water, gold pans and shovels. I watched others get a shovelful of sandy muck, put it in their pan and shake it from side to side. It was my turn. I tried and it just seemed too hard. It was not as if there was any gold in there anyway. So I gave up after a few times before one of the employees came over and showed me how to do it. The idea is that you gently shake and agitate the pan. The lighter material will rise to the surface, which you discard along the way, and the heavier material sinks to the base of the pan. You see, gold is a relatively heavy material. So I started realizing it was just a process that had to be followed. What ensued was time, patience, and not taking any shortcuts. By now the rest of the family had gone. I guess it was my fascination with gold that kept me at it. As time passed and I was being left with a heavy material, I saw some specks of gold, some glimpses. I stopped and went to grab them, but because they were so small and there was still light material, they would just sink and disappear again. So I continued with what I'd been doing. The truth is that over the next time period I would see the gold specks more and more often by agitating the pan and as I discarded the other materials along the way. The end result was about 3 specks of gold, which I could easily get and put in my sample jar. The gold was insignificant in value, but the achievement felt good. I really learned a lesson from this. Change is a process that you have to follow to get the benefits and reap the rewards. Along the way, you will see glimpses of what you want, along with many little wins. If you try and take the easy way out, you will most likely not succeed. And from time to time, you will lose sight of where you are going and what you want. But if you stay at the course and follow a proven process, it will reappear along the journey more and more frequently until you get your final result. The glimpses will turn into pictures that will eventuate into a full-feature movie. The lesson here is you do certain things and you get an outcome. This demonstrates the true power of following a process. This is how you got to where you are and also how you're going to get out of where you are today. I can show you that you followed a process and sequence of steps to exhibit these anxious behaviors. In the above gold panning process, if you miss a step, say agitating the pan enough, you don't get the gold or the outcome you want. Now let's do the same theory with anxious behaviors. You can't do anxious behaviors if you are not stuck in your head and thought. You can't do anxious behavior if you are really present in real time. You can't do anxious behavior if you have conducted a realistic risk assessment of what you're worrying about, because if you did, you will realize it and reframe it that is most likely never going to happen. You see, this may sound simplistic, and I understand that it's not that simple because of your past experiences, your previous perspectives and habituated patterns of behaviour. This is how in the past you may have simply just not seen a way out, but with an understanding and a process to follow, that's how it is, and with some effort, there is certainly a way out. Change is going to happen, whether you like it or not, be it lasting and sustained change as well. Today's tasking is about the power of following a process, and you do certain things and you get an outcome. So when you've finished and when you get a chance today, maybe just write down the process of falling asleep. How do you do it? Until next time, thanks for listening. And in the meantime, you can find more at the website at octafant.com.au.